Okay, 1 minute. Hello, everyone. This is me, Jyoti, and I'll be your host for today's session. Introducing to you Opencode. It's been more than a month. It's been almost a month that now you are in this journey with us together, making Git pulls, making interactive PRs, talking with mentors, and this transformating month-long program commencing in December. And now to make sure you guys have had a complete experience understanding about the fundamentals of development, about the fundamentals of maybe any repo that you are committing to, and the fundamentals of the entire open source community. The primary prerequisite throughout this program has always been an enthusiastic heart to learn. And now we set the stage for participants to embark on an exciting journey in the world of collaborative software development. Keeping this in mind, we have our speaker for today's session. Allow me to introduce this accomplished individual. Abhishek sir has been an aspiring React.js developer, and he brings with himself a sheer commitment to open source initiatives. Holding a bachelor's of engineering degree in computer engineering from Modern Education Society's College of Engineering, Pune, he possesses a solid academic foundation, complemented by multiple certifications in web and digital marketing. Beyond his work at Coditas as a software engineer the and the social winter of code. He presently has his own platform that he founded and led and completely organized to make a collaborative space for students and developers to learn and grow together. His breadth of experiences underscores his versatility and commitment to both technical excellence and community engagement. Now, I would like to request Abhishek sir to commence today's session with his keynote. Abhishek sir, if you would please.
Yes, thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Akshay. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Let me start my camera first. Okay. Okay, so as this program is started, right, Jyoti? Open source contribution period.
Yes, sir. It's coming to now a close. It's been almost a month to its commencement.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's great then. So most of the participants are like familiar with how to proceed and they must have done some open source contributions, right? So okay, uh, we will have today we'll be having some basic interaction. I will be telling about the domains, like very basic things you all must be aware about as you are working on it right now. Like what are the domains? What are the streams through which you can contribute to open source? What can be the other path or like other programs through which you can show your skills or like build your personal profile by contributing to open source, and like what are the benefits basically, why are we doing this? There are a lot of things like DSA. If you're in college, the most important thing which is told to focus uh, is on DSA. So yes, how this thing will help you in your placements, plus for building your profile and for building your personal future journey. Maybe it can be a corporate or any other. Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen. So today I will be presenting the same PPT which I just presented with the uh, DevFest guys. Uh, Interrupt me if there is any issue. Okay, so the topic will be building a sustainable tech open source contribution system and the importance and benefits as I see. Okay, so what is open source? As I told that, why are we doing this? What are the benefits? So basically, open source is uh, anything, any project or any software which is released for everyone. which is mostly made for a good cause, which is helping society in many ways. And anyone can come, anyone can contribute to it, anyone can make it more better if they have relevant skills. So it's not like every open source program is like you can go on GitHub link and contribute. No, it's not like that. For example, you may be knowing Mozilla Firefox. It's an open source browser. Okay, so even if it's open source and if you want to contribute, you can't directly go to it. You can't directly go and tell, hey, I want to contribute and let me code the feature or anything you want to do. You have to show your skill first. You have to show what you have done previously, what is your tech stack, and accordingly they will take you in their group or maybe whatever they manage, all the things, and then you can work on that project. So yes, open source, as I said, it's open, but at some stage, like on the big projects like this, there are some restrictions. So you have to build yourself accordingly. So now let's see what are the streams. As I said, all you are now contributing. So I'm sure that you all must be aware of all these things. But let's just talk more about this. So who are the contributors? How can one start? Uh, is it necessary that I should have some uh, previous knowledge, or if yes, what amount of knowledge should I have? If I am not a beginner, I am a professional, what should I do? Or maybe yeah, I have done lots of project, or now what should I like? I want to have my own open source project. That's the idea. Then how can I create that? We'll see that. Okay, so starting with the contributor. If considering that you all are beginners, we are starting from contributors. So contributor are one who is the main person who will be coding the actual thing, who is creating the feature, right? Uh, as you are contributing to open source project, so what are your key responsibilities? You should be able to know the tech stack of the project. For example, if we have a project and the technical stack is required like React.js, JavaScript, maybe Node or Tailwind. So you should have basics of that. You should have basic knowledge of that. If you think that yeah, I'm not good with React, but I know JavaScript, that's also okay. Because if you know JavaScript, it's not too much hard to learn React. So what is happening? You are learning and accordingly you are contributing. If you are following any course, yes, that's a good way. You can follow any course and learn the React. But when you follow a course and you create a feature, or you actually code whatever you learn, so that's the best way to learn anything. So yes, if you are a beginner, you can start as a contributor. Other things like you should read the documentation, you should participate in the participate as a mentor. you know so when you are a mentor, your key responsibilities are you are the bridge between contributors and the project admins. Okay, so you will be helping contributors by solving their issues, by guiding them that how should we proceed to solve this particular issue, what can be the barriers, what can be the possible outcomes or more additions to it. So all these things is covered by the mentor. And on the project admin side, mentor help project admins to create issues. This is the standard way which should be followed. They help uh, in the documentation, they help in the planning, then they help in the they help in uh, reviewing the code, whatever the code is done by the contributor. So mentor is also responsible if assigned by project admin, they have to review the code so that there is no any conflict. Okay, so yes, these are like contributor, mentor. You are a beginner, then you are at a mid stage, not totally expert. Now if you want to become uh, a project admin, it's not like that. You should definitely become project admin after you're a mentor. Project admin, if you have any idea or any open source project which you think is, yes, it's good and uh, it can add a value to the community or anything like that, so yes, you can start your project. But at this stage you should be very professional in the technical stacks that are used to build your own project. Okay, so it's not like that you are beginner here. You should have knowledge of each and everything of your project, every stage: architecture, design, then as I said, technical stacks, which languages are used, why those are used. All these things you should be clear, because these questions are will be asked by mentors and project admins to you. And if you are not clear, then I'm sure no one will contribute to a project. Okay, so when you are creating an open source project, create a base of it, create a particular structure so that uh, if anyone comes to your project, they should understand what are you trying to do. Okay, and you should have a user guide, then contributors guide, all these things. Whatever you are trying to do, you should add it in your documentation so that it's easy for everyone to understand. Okay, so now let's explore the domains of like now we saw the streams, right? What are the ways you can contribute? Now we'll explore the domains. What are the like tech or non-tech? Okay, starting with the technical part. So yes, this is the most possible way we start as a developer. That you can start by creating a website or a software or anything that like that. You can if you have knowledge of that. The difference is software you have to like set up all the things in your system itself, and while creating a website it's bit easy, but yes, for that you should have a good knowledge. For both of this, for all of this, you should have good knowledge of git and github. I will say the basics of it. And this will not only help you in open source, but this will help you in your future journey when you are creating any kind of project. So yes, technical domains or the subparts of it, you can start by creating softwares, websites, and yes, you can also start with the technical writing. Now you will say that okay, uh, it happens sometime that yes, I have joined engineering, I am into computer engineering, but I'm not much that much into coding. I don't like coding. होता है ऐसे बहुत बार होता है. So what should we do? Uh, I'm not that much good into coding. I am good in design, or I am good into writing or public speaking, anything like that. So yes, if you have those skills too, you can also contribute to open source like this. Uh, if you have good writing skills, you can contribute to the documentation. You have to write all the things in the way that if anyone comes and read that particular document, they should easily understand all the things. Sometimes what happens, the statements are written, but they are not very clear or they are not easily understood to anyone. For example, Dev Jyoti, his as I heard him, he's very good in like his accent or his English. So sometimes what happens is some guys are not able to understand, or some sorry, I will say Dev Jyoti, uh, you will able to understand him more better. Me, a less, uh, a bit less, you will able to understand whatever I am saying. So it happens. The creation of like the framing of statements and all the things. So yes, if you are a good writer or if you are good into the like grammar and English, all the things, you can start with the documentation. So there are like two types of documentation: user and contributor. If user documentation, if anyone is a user, They can read how to install, how to set up the project, then what to do if there are any issues, whom to contact, then what can be the possible issues. All the things will be written in the user guide, and the other part, the contributor guide. So all the things that needed to be told to a contributor, like yes, we are using this tech stack. This is the like pathway. You should read the code structure. You should understand what the code structure is, and how the code is written, what kind of coding standards are used, if the clean coding is done or not. All the things you have to do, and you have to write in all that documentation. What is the future perspective? What is like all the basic things, whatever possible you can do if you don't want to code. Next is UI UX design. As I said, if you are good into design, like if you are more good into color, like creating the like playing with the colors, I will say, or you are more good into like thinking in a way that a user should get a more easy path to use that particular project. As I hope you all know that what is UI UX. Uh, so yes, if you are good into designing and architecture or like framing things, you can contribute as a UX designer. And yes, as I said, you can also work the architecture part. Like if you are creating any project, there should be a basic structure of it, right? You should have a pen and paper, and like you can use webhooks, something like that, to structure your project. What will be the screens? If I click on this button, where it will be go? Wireframe, basically. So yes, designing that plus seeing that if it's implemented or not. Once you're implementing it, then what kind of issues you are facing. So all these things you can work on if you don't want to code. And at the end, you can definitely pitch your own idea, whatever, if it's technical, non-technical, anything like that. You can definitely contact with the project admin, and yes, you can tell him that, hey dude, or if there is any girl, so you can talk with her and tell that we can add this particular feature, this will add this kind of value, or like everything you just have to pitch them. Okay. Now, okay, you will say, इतना सब कुछ तो कर लिया, फायदा क्या है इस सब का? Why are we doing all this? Yes. So, for example, see that when you are in college, you are told to create some projects for your final year or maybe third year, second year, whatever it is. Okay. So when you are creating an entire project from scratch, uh, there are some issues. Like there are a lot of issues. You have to do a lot of things on your own. Sometimes you are not aware of many things, like how to do that. You have to contact your teachers. Yes, most of the teachers support, but sometimes uh, they don't have that much of time to help you in every basic things. So what happens if you are good and hello? So if you are good into like if you are good with the structure, you have the knowledge, then you can complete your project. But most of the times, what happens is it takes a lot of time. The project creation takes a lot of time, and maybe it will not complete. That will happen. But here, what you are doing, you are creating small features, and while creating these features, you are learning on your own. You will yes. Sorry, I will just go a side path. Like what happens if you are not getting any like if you are not able to solve anything, what we do, we just go on the internet, we copy the code, and we just copy paste it, and हाँ ठीक है काम हो रहा है चलो बाकी देखेंगे सब कुछ. So as this happens, but here you are learning all the thing on your own. You are creating that feature because it's new, it's not available on internet. Yes, it can be, but again there are some dependencies and all the things, so you have to do this on your own. And when you do uh, coding or anything on your own, you have the authority of it. You are learning your improving your own skills here. So yes, and again, when you're creating this feature is live somewhere. You can add that particular link to your uh, GitHub pull request or anything possible, screenshot of the project in your resume. You can add the link, and you can shoot it to the interviewer that yes, I have did this. This is live, and it will give validation to your work. Sometimes this also happens that कुछ भी प्रोजेक्ट ऐड कर देता है कि मैंने ये कर दिया या फिर मैंने ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट बनाई है, बट फॉर लाइक मोस्ट ऑफ द मैंने भी किया था ये। ऐसे होता है कि हम ऐड कर देते हैं बट एक्चुअली हमें कुछ पता नहीं होता। बट व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन द इंटरव्यू आस्क्स यू द क्वेश्चंस, the basic questions we are not able to answer it. So there, uh, it affects on your reputation, it affects your profile, and it will affect very negatively. So don't do that. Rather than that, what you can do, work on small things, and when you're confident, you can work on the big project. As I said, you're working as a contributor on small parts, then you're a mentor, you can work with project admin for like designing the project, and yes, accordingly you can create a big project. Next is, as I said, you can add these all the things in your resume. It will affect. It's not needed that you should create an entire project. If you have a small feature created, but it's on your own and you are very confident about it, it's okay. This I'm telling all these things on my experience, my interview experiences. So it can be different for someone other. So don't judge me on that. Okay. Next is, while you are contributing to any project, you are connecting with the mentors and like new community members within that particular community. It can be a project admin, mentors, speakers, or like guides. There are a lot of or contributors too. There are a lot of people in any you know open source project. So here you are connecting with people and you are learning a lot of things. You can maybe you can get a referral, job referral from any one of your colleague in that open source project, and yes, definitely you can get a job. Uh, Next is, okay, so you can also earn through open source contributions, but for that I will say you can't be a beginner. So there are programs like MNH Fellowship, Google Summer of Code, Outreachy, and like there are a lot of these kind of open source programs where you can contribute and earn for your contribution. But yes, for that you need to prove yourself to them that yes, I have did this thing, I have knowledge of this, and I can definitely add this in, like I can definitely do this or add value to your project. So they will have a, they will not have an interview kind of thing, but they will give it some time that you should do this in this period of time. They will see your approach, and if they found all good, they will pay you for that. So yes, uh, it's also it's not like you will get paid in pennies. No, there is very big bounties for open source contributions. You can see uh, on like Google Summer of Code, MLH, they are pay around like no, what I heard was like 1.5 lakhs for 3 months of contribution, and it can increase depending upon the complexity of the feature. Okay, so these are the things, and yes, this is how and why you should contribute to open source projects and how this will benefit to you. Now, let's see short visual process of how you can do this. I guess you must be aware of all this, but uh, as you are contributing in an open source program right now, I will just show you the SWC website. You can go to projects, you can see the projects. This is the name, this is the description, these are the tech stacks. Even you can contribute to this particular website too. We have kept it not now, but we'll open it in some days, and you can add your own features to this particular project, I will say. Okay, so for example, let's see. So these are some new projects. let's choose any kind of project. Okay, uh, I will choose SpaceX. This is the most known project in SWC and other programs. So yes, you can see the name of project owner, name of project, description, technologies what are used, and you can connect with the owner here by using their GitHub and LinkedIn if you want to. And if you want to contribute, go to their project. You can see all the things, all the folders, files, go through all the folders, all the code structure, what is done, how the how the files are made and how the structures are being made here. So what happens is when you are working with HTML, CSS, JS, there are only three files: index.html, CSS, and JavaScript. But when you are working in React, there are some there is some structure that is followed. It's not like you are doing all the things in a single file. No, there are components. If you're creating a header, there is a different component folder for header. For main, for footer, like there will be three folders, three sub main files, three some CSS files. So yes, go through the entire code base of project, see how it's working, and if you found all the things, read all the documentation. If you want to contribute, go to issues, see whichever issue you like. You can also like choose on your own, like depending on the hardness of the issue, and you can go and comment on the, like, for example, feature request, and you can comment that yes, I am okay. So someone has done that. For example, this, you can contribute. I would like to contribute to this project. You can tell how you will do that, what additions you will do. You also have to add how much time you will need, and if all is good, they will assign the project, or admins will assign that issue to you. And yes, once you are done with the feature, you can create a pull request. If project admin again thinks that it's good, all the things are clear, then they will merge your issue, and yes, you have successfully done a open source contribution. And you can repeat this process again and again. You can, maybe next time you can like increase the hardness of your project. And yes, mm, this is it. So thank you for joining with me. And uh, if you want to connect with me, you can just scan this QR code and connect with me on LinkedIn and ask me questions. So if you have any questions, you can just type it in the chat. So Akash, we can take the questions now.
Um, Hello, everyone. I'd be stepping in. So I'd be checking through the questions once, and I'll be like asking you the most appeared or the most important one of those questions. So one of the questions that mostly had come up to us was, yeah. So what are some mistakes to avoid when learning how to contribute in open source? Like this was one of the primarily asked questions by a variety of participants, both to us individually as well as to you in the stream as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. So what are the issues like when you're contributing to any, when you're coding anything? So why I
Okay.
told that you should learn the code base of that particular project, because when you are creating a pull request, sometimes what happens is you are creating the feature right. It's not your problem. Your the feature is working, all the things are good on your system. But when you are creating a pull request and that pull request is merged, sometimes your code or the dependencies you installed in your code may affect the entire project. What can happen is the pull request will be merged, and you will see that uh, your feature is not working on the main project, or the entire project is just shut down now. So this can happen, and you should avoid these mistakes. So for that, you should read all the things. You should mention all the things in your, when you are creating a pull request, you should mention all the things what you have done and what dependencies you have installed. Okay. And yes, as I said, next mistake is of coding standards. So when you are coding anything, there is a, as I said, there is a structure to it. You can't just go and code anything on your own. You have to comment like lot of things that yes, I have done this thing here. You have to follow the, you know, the uppercase, lowercase, camel casing, or whatever you are in whichever language you are coding. Then you have to mention all the, you have to keep your code clean. You know, you have to keep the structure and no, you have try to keep it as less as you can and try to make it different. Like as I said, segregated. In React.js, how we do that? We create components. So yes, these are some basic mistakes that participants or the contributors do, which can uh, affect the entire project. And another thing is when you are okay, so you have done a code and you have merged that, it's merged and it's working fine, but your code is not that clean and it's not much readable, or you have not given a proper names to your variables or functions. So if someone new comes and he's improving or maybe adding anything to your feature, so he or she may face a issue that क्या लिखा है इसमें कुछ समझ रहा नहीं है, and it can again affect on your code too if he's not clear with what you have done. So make sure you write each and every minute detail, comment the code, and yes, be clear with the mentors and project admins. If you have any issue, just contact with them. Okay, so I hope this is the major thing which you are facing, right?
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. So that was a greatly informative answer. So one more most optimum question that came up to us was, does the tech stack of a project matter more or the use cases? What should be one's ideal preparation strategy before starting the entire journey in the open source world? Like, to learn the tech stack of that particular project more, or the entire relative tech stack that would be further used in that project in order to like understand and grow with every step that, or every contribution that the person would make in the particular repository.
Okay, so basically, use case is for once. You know, you can contribute to that project for long as you want, but the tech stack will be for long time with you. So I will say that first choose the tech stack you want to learn, because that's the interest you want to you know, that will be your interest. You want to do web, you want to do just like you want to go for, sorry, I will say you want to go into front end, back end, or any other thing. So decide that thing first and accordingly see the projects where these tech stacks are included, and brush up on your skills by coding into these languages and adding features to that project. That's what I will say to this. Use cases can vary multiple times. You can learn some more things accordingly, but yes, first choose your core thing, how you should be starting, which from which language you should be starting. I hope this was the question, right, Debjyoti?
Absolutely, sir. That was again much helpful. So, like the next one that we have, would you also recommend contributing to smaller projects, like projects that actually help us to learn more about a particular tech stack and like get our grip better on it, or to larger projects where we can actually implement those skills and then maybe get a higher point when we are adding those in our resume or in our like consecutive portfolio?
Okay, so
What would be your strategy?
okay, so this is a very good question. this totally depends on your skills. If I'm a beginner, I will say I'm a beginner, and I will not go directly into big projects because uh, there can be some major issues which can affect my profile. Yes, you have to struggle a lot there. But if you are very beginner, start with the basic projects. Once you get a confidence, like yes, I've done these things. I have like 50 to 60% of knowledge of that particular project. Sorry, tech stack. Then you can jump on the big project. So like uh, create some levels for you, beginner, medium, and hard. And once you are confident on your own, uh, एक अंदर से कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि नहीं मैं कर सकता हूँ या फिर एक इंटरेस्ट आता है yes I can do this. If this thing comes in you, then yes, then go to a big project. But if you directly go to a big project and if you are not able to do that, what happens is you are occupying that issue for some days. The project gets delayed or the issue gets delayed by that much time. Then next, if you are not doing like, if you are not having knowledge of that or experience of that, again you will be coding in a bad way and it will affect the project. So yes, think for yourself too, but also think with the project admin's perspective that yes, I am contributing to open project. I am adding some of the value to that particular project. So yes, this will be my suggestion.
Thank you so much, sir. So, upcoming, we also have like, I was just reading out through the list of comments and the top chat that I was receiving. So, I had a few like queries from our mentors as well, like the mentors who were mentoring the entire duration of the open source program. So, there goes a question as how will it be easier to explain to the contributors to optimize the code without literally giving them exact code snippets and actually telling them कि ऐसे ऐसे ही करना है. So other than that, like because not everyone is completely well versed with that particular framework or that particular technique. So what would be the strategy in order to like to ask any particular contributor or guide them to the right path instead of providing the actual code snippet that would be exactly in the contribution?
Okay, so this is very great question. Uh, so for this, I will say you can't be very sure or very clear about the coding structure you are following. Yes, mentors uh, can't give snippets to everyone. It's very hectic. But yes, for mentors, I will say when sorry, when you are talking with any contributor, just tell them that uh, what is the average requirement. You can just show them once that yes, this is how you should do all the things. This is how you should go, and then you can test them again and again. If you found that they are not following coding standards or the structure as you mentioned, you can tell them again that yes, reduce this or work more on this. It's working, but no, we want some more reduction or optimization in this code, and just tell them to do that. Don't guide them directly there. Check if that particular contributor is really eager to learn, and if he or she is, then definitely she will like work on all these things. But yes, don't keep the that margin too high that a participant will think that ये तो नहीं होगा. This is very hard, and don't keep it too low. Just be in the middle that everyone should cope up with. Okay, so this will be my word to mentors.
That's definitely some really helpful guidance, sir. Um, and this, I guess, I believe, completely summarizes all of the questions that we have received from our end. And um there's this one last question. Uh, This question is also from a mentor.
Okay.
There's usually when mentors put forward issues, there is this small trifle or a battle between who claims first and knowing if the person who claims first is actually able or capable to deliver the complete deliverable of the issue he claimed or the solution of the issue he claimed. So, like in that case, do they keep all of the issues as open for all or FCF like first come first serve? Like, what would be your idea? How would you do it if you were in the mentor's position?
Okay, so frankly speaking, I will do it first come first serve because uh, what you can do if there is a participant E, he comes first and he tells that yes, I will be doing all these things in this way. This is my approach. We can you what you can do, you can ask him कि कैसे करोगे बताओ डिटेल में बताओ ask this to everyone. Once you get idea, assign that issue to him and give him some time. Maybe what you can do, you can just if that feature takes 7 days to or like 5 days to uh, complete. What you can do, you can just tell him, okay, take 5 days, but after 2 or 3 days, I will need an update, like how you are doing that. You can check if they are working good, and I'm sure that until that 2 or 3 days, if the participant B comes, so you can hold him for 2 days. 2 days is not that much. You can hold them, and if you think that participant is doing good, then yes, you should go with A1. But if you think that no B has a more good idea or more good skills, then again you can re reassign the issue, or you can recreate the issue that optimize this or add more features to this issue again. So this is what you can do here. But yes, don't uh, keep up things to yourself. Let who comment first give them chance. If you will not give them chance, then again there will be some another battle you have to face. So yes.
Perfect, sir. That was a great answer, to like completely summarizing to all of the thought process that I guess all of our mentors and contributors had. So, with this, I believe, sir, I have tried to summarize all of the questions into a brief and concise matter and presented them over to you. So, I would be waiting for any final note from you, and then we would be winding up this marvelous event, which was enriched in knowledge uh, from being it open source, being it development, or being it learning to DSA and optimizing of code. So, any ending note from you, sir?
No, I will just say keep contributing to open source. And yes, again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on LinkedIn or Discord, any way you feel better. Thank you for having
Thank
me
you so much,
in
sir,
this session. I hope it helped. Thank you.
thank you so much, sir, for your time. It definitely helped us a lot. With this, I guess we believe we have come to the end of the stream, and soon we'll be winding up the stream. Thank you.